The two important events next week is US CPI and UK GDP. Coming into dollar, we are seeing more bid for the dollar. We are seeing higher interest rates, we are seeing high inflation, and we are seeing higher prices on dollar. That in turn also sends the Australian dollar down. Also, it doesn't help out that there is COVID in China and the lockdowns are pretty harsh on the economy. The other one is that there is not much growth in the inflation in Australia so far. They're supposed to pick up in 2022, but it hasn't happened yet. So this is going to be led by consumer demand, but it hasn't happened yet. The other thing is that RBI is supposed to be starting the tightening cycle now in 2022. This is supposed to be making the Aussie going higher, but it's still being drawn down by Dollar King, meaning that we are going to see lower prices on the Aussie also coming next week. If you look into next week, we are seeing that price so far has been ranging a bit. We are seeing a bit of a price pause around 70.50, but I also believe we're still going to go lower next week, and as we are going down to 69.30 or 69.50 level, that means that this week we want price to come up to 71.70, like up to these highs here before we sell. If it just drops down, it just drops down. There's nothing I will do more about that. Euro dollar, another one that has come into some kind of range. I don't really like it. It's really not where I want to see. But also we see because of the Ukraine war, we see because of weaker growth perspectives, both from the UK and from Europe. And that doesn't necessarily help when dollar is in such a bid overall from across the plate basically, and we are just expecting this one to continue lower. Now 104.30 is still on the way to parity, which is the underlying general move we're hoping to see. And we are also seeing that, supply disruptions, increased demand for gas from Europe, that is not Russian gas, that is all the other gases. So we have seen a pretty steep increase on nat gas, and I do talk about nat gas because this is a commodity that is really in demand at the moment, and you can see it went up to $9. We have risen dramatically over the past, give it a couple of months here. We're going back to February, and if we take February and all the way up now, we have risen 120%. Imagine those bills people have to pay just to be able to fuel their make food and make their house hot. Now the other thing is pound. We're coming into 4 hours on pound here. The thing is that Bank of England did surprise us by a weaker growth forecast, and that is why we are seeing this pound falling like a ton of bricks. And then what are we going to do for this next week? We're going to see that price going up to 124.16 or 124.86 to 124.86 is probably the one that I would really love to see, and then it will go all the way down to all the way down to 121.40. I think that's a pretty fantastic level, to be honest. And, going into next week, that is the direction I want to say. Because we overall have a downtrend. We have weaker growth. We have more risk. We have a strong dollar. And that is the only fundamental direction we can really go in, and technically the only reason as well. So as you see coming into the daily here, that is 124.70-50 level, looks great as a resistance level. There was some changes in the COT upwards, but pound also lost a lot of buyers, but across the board it was generally just risk off. Aussie losing, New Zealand losing, pound losing, euro losing buyers, and some of them even increasing their short positions to the downside. New Zealand dollar, another one that has also turned into this range thing. I don't know what dollar has done to these trades, done to these pairs, but it's definitely just in a range. Coming into next week, we are definitely hoping for a small pullback here, that we also had a bit of a Friday, but still wasn't good enough for me. I still want us coming back up to a 64.86 and then turning lower. how long is this downtrend going to continue? As long as we are still falling, we are still going to go lower. So for me, this is the direction I want to go. This is the best thing that I can see, at least, coming into next week. S&P 500, I'm not going to do anything else than an expert would do. As a buyer, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm literally just going to be, okay, I can see it's falling. I don't care. The same thing with Nasdaq. You would expect me, Eivind, what is your direction? What is your expertise here? My expertise says I shouldn't be buying here. So for me, it's not really anything I can do other than just looking at a different pair like US30. Hasn't done the bullish trend either. So it's get out of there more than anything else. But Bitcoin as well, just to take a new trade coming in here. What is really the direction of Bitcoin? Bitcoin is going higher when there's a lot of demand for, when you have too much cash, when you don't have anything else to do, when we have a bullish stock market. I would just say it's a more riskier stock market, basically, because it will go on higher on risk on, it would go lower on risk off. It will fall when everyone is fearing and everyone doesn't have money and everyone has to pay the bills instead of buying Bitcoin. And vice versa. So right now on Bitcoin, we're seeing pretty strong pushes down to 134,000. I would like us to be above 40,000 before we can start buying this one again. Another one, just to mention, 10-year T-note, still rising. The market has priced in 3.13% now. This can also been seen as the future interest rates in America that the market is expecting to have, and it's rising like a rocket ship. And we have also seen today, I'm just going to cover that as well. We have seen that America, or the Fed, the market has priced in an interest rates in the US of 300 basis points by the end of the year, 300 to 325. That's 3% interest rates. That's a lot of interest rates. That is the most increased interest rate since like 1996, or like back in the days before we we could even say hello. So right now the market is pricing yet aggressive rate hikes. The question is the market yet again in June going to be disappointed because the Fed does not agree with such shocks? Because that would happen on Fed this week as well, where it said, well, we're not going to have 75 basis points rate hike. That is what the market had priced in, went down to 50, now went back up to 75. Okay, fair enough. So, if you are a trader that's looking to be funded, would you consider today's sponsor?
This video/stream is sponsored by Trader Central. Trader Central provides funding for traders, spot cryptocurrency exchange services, and access to trading tools like copy trade software, portfolio tracking, and a social platform exclusive for communicating with trader friends. Sign up now using the link in the description and get up to 30% off on your first plan.
I would also say, going into gold next week, what is gold really doing here? Gold is supposed to be bearish, and it's kind of bearish-ish. It's not really fantastic great to the downside here, but it has some potential. So what you need to do next week is to find resistance. You need to find a sell level, sell demand, and I think the best sell demand technically would be around 1895. If this just falls off the top of the cliff right now and nothing else than that, fair enough, good. Where's your target, mate? 1840, 1845. Nothing else than a couple of good trades there. Even though the ultimate trade is 1821, I think we'll still have some more good trades to the downside. I just want us to be down to the previous low, technically have a pullback yet again this week, and then do that. That is my ultimate dream on gold. Coming into oil, fantastic oil trade this week. We bought it on this, well, probably not on the spot though, but around 102, and the current target on this one is 111. The different brokers, different prices, but generally speaking, that's a price where we bought it on a bit after stream, actually, because I bought it on stream or in stream, and then it went down below my entry, so you even got a better entry. But you know what, fantastic trade on oil this week, still in profit, and even Friday close brought us bit higher. I'm a bit afraid right now, but I'm still gonna hold it at break even, praying that this is gonna go great. And I am hoping to see you in the live sessions this week as well, today, tomorrow, whenever it's gonna be. Make sure you're on Discord and anything else. Boom.